I started to think about my daughters and missing out on everything. My grandbabies. I have so many emotions, so many decisions to be made so quickly. Every little thing was going through my mind as I worked for hospice for so long. And because I've been around death so much, I knew that I had to get things into place, not only for myself, but for my family to make it easier on them. I think it was by that weekend, I had already had cremation service at my house and already made my end of life plans. I started a notebook on things that I need to take care of and get into place, places I wanted to visit, and things I want to do before I die. I still felt like it was a dream, but yet it was so real. Every morning I would have coffee and I'd just cry until I couldn't anymore. Afterwards, I'd pull myself together and tell myself that I just have to make it a great day, not only for myself, but for my family and loved ones around me. But it wasn't easy. It's still not easy. I was really thankful that the University of Colorado got me in the very next day after I was diagnosed. I feel that um, I've had nothing but the very best doctors, and I'm extremely thankful for that. Um, that's where I now go every 2 months, and they monitor my decline, and that is about what they do. Um, I see a neurologist, I see occupational therapist, I see physical therapist, I see a dietitian, I see a social worker. Um, but yeah, there is no cure for ALS. And when I go see my doctors, they just monitor my decline and provide me with tools to help me along the way. Each time I go back, I have something new I have to use, a different device, different tools. Um, by July of this year, I was feeling much more weaker, more difficult raising my right arm, putting on my makeup, doing my hair, getting dressed, more fasciculations. My neck is achy. I've been using airplane pillow to sleep at night. Seems to help. Definitely having more falls. I'm walking differently. My muscles are tight and pulling muscles a lot more, even with just minor movement. Everything's becoming a chore. Everything I do is a chore. I'm exhausted from just watering my flowers. I was watering the flowers and tripped over my feet and fell. Luckily, I didn't get hurt. Um, I began to think of the damage that I can do to myself with falling. I'm thinking, what am I going to do? How am I going to do to prevent this? What am I going to do? Because this is going to get worse. Um, I used to be so independent and so strong. I did everything on my own. I started to feel really angry, really, really angry. Knowing that I'm going to possibly die at such an early age. I'm going to miss out on so much. I keep thinking about my daughters and if I'll ever see a grandbaby. Well, um, July 14th, 2025, I found out that I'm going to be a grandma and that I'm going to have a grandson. So I'm very over the top excited. And of course, all my emotions are flowing again. So I will get to see my grandbaby. Um, I've always told my kids that you should make it a good day. Every day should be a good day. And I also have to live by that, although I cry every day. I try to turn around and make the best of my day. I try to laugh more than I cry. I still have so many things to be grateful for. I have to remind myself that I'm still alive and I still want to live out my life in a positive way. It's definitely not easy. Whew. So many things run through my head. How much time do I have left? I want to see so many people. I want to visit so many places that I've never seen before. Will I have enough money to do that? What am I going to do before I can't move my legs and arms anymore, or when I can't speak or swallow? I find myself looking at things in such a different way, more than I would have, more than I ever would have. I have always been a caregiver, and now I look at what others are going through and how they feel and how it is on the other side. I find myself looking at the clouds and the stars more. I appreciate everything so much more. Even just feeling the sun on my face and yeah, all the things that we take for granted. Um, I'm really excited that I have a grandbaby on the way, and that's something to look forward to. Both my daughters have moved in with me, not only to help me, but to continue my business of caregiving in our home. We've had a resident that has lived with us, and he's 93 years old. And that's just something that I always wanted to do, is to take care of people in my home. And I've done that actually for the last couple years. But now my daughter's taking over, but we are still caring for him, which makes me really happy. Um, Music has not been the same. I get angry because I cannot listen to music without crying. I get frustrated because I used to be really organized. Um, that's not so much anymore. I put my clothes away inside out and throw them in the drawer because my arms and fingers are not working well. I just feel tired, so I really don't care as long as I can get to it. Luckily, now my daughters have been helping me with that, so things are getting a little bit more organized. In August, I went to see my family in Minnesota. This would be my last trip traveling by myself. A lot of decisions were going through my head. Can I do this on my own? Can I make it through the airport walking by myself? I made it and I had a great time. I definitely had to have a wheelchair assistance through the airport. Because of the assistance, I was able to get on the airplane first. So that really helped, because then I didn't have to walk through people and try to get in and out of the crowded, cramped seats by myself. It just definitely made things a lot easier. And of course, my family helped me, when I got there, when I was there to see them. So that was very helpful. August of 2025, I started taking a medication called, I'm not sure how to say this, Riluzole. Riluzole. This medication is to help prolong my life. 3 months to a year is what I've been told. I'm not sure what to think about this. So far, I don't really have any side effects from it, except for being a little dizzy for the first hour. I'm not sure what to think about this, because does it really help? And why isn't there any other medications that can help this disease? Why is there no cure for this? Why aren't we doing more to figure this out? Why do we have to live with this disease in such a horrible way? This makes no sense to me. I have been taking more magnesium to help with my cramping. Really, all I'm taking is more vitamins. I don't like to take any medications ever. Maybe that's why my stomach just seems upset a lot. Or it could also be the depression of everything. I'm not sure. So now it's been 1 year since I've had symptoms. I've been told to start traveling as much as I can to do things I want to do before I can no longer do them. One thing I wanted to do was take my family to Hawaii. I've always loved Hawaii, and I always wanted my family to experience it too. And because of so many wonderful friends and family, we were able to make this happen at the end of September. This trip took 2 months to plan and prepare because there was 8 of us. It took my mind off of things that were actually going on with me. It was seriously so memorable, and it meant so much to me. I wish I could have brought everyone with me. That means so much to me. But I just thank everybody for making that happen. It was seriously so wonderful for my family and I, and the memories we were able to make. After our big trip, my emotions were flowing once again. I didn't have anything to take my mind off of my decline of ALS. While we were in Hawaii, I realized that I wasn't able to keep my body up in the water as good as I thought it was going to. When the waves came, it knocked me down, and I couldn't get back up. I just about drowned. When we were in the pool, I tipped over off my floaty and couldn't get myself back up. My family was pushing me around the resort in a wheelchair to save my energy. I had to have my daughter give me a shower because I became too weak. It was just too much for me. I was needing more help to getting dressed and fixing my hair. It was when I got home, all I could do was cry. I didn't have anything to fill that void, and I didn't know what to do next. The high was over, and reality hit again. So when I got back from our trip from Hawaii in October, I am no longer working anymore. This was such a big change for me because I've always been a very hardworking woman. I raised 2 daughters practically on my own, and I always worked, always, to support my children and myself. So I was told that I need to apply for disability, and I was denied. Yet they consider me disabled, and now I receive Medicare. Medicare wants me to pay $1,000 for 8 months out of pocket, but yet they won't give me disability. It makes no sense to me. So now I have to appeal, and I did, but I still haven't heard anything yet. I just don't understand. They consider me disabled, but yet I can't get disability. I know it's not going to be very much, but anything will help at this point. I am using an upright walker to help save my energy when I walk. Of course, I at first cried. I couldn't believe that they wanted me to start using a walker. But when I actually started using it, I was really thankful for it. It really helps me a lot. I can walk so much better and so much faster. I can't walk long distance, but it helps me walk for about 20 minutes or so before getting super tired. Because normally if I'm out walking without that, I can't make it very far. It's not going to work for me. My doctor wants me to be fitted for ankle and leg braces, also to help me walk better. They're called AFO. I decided that I'm not going to use those because I don't think that I'll wear them very much. And on top of that, they also want me to pay $2,000 out of pocket. It's just crazy. So my neurologist at the university has contacted me regarding the possibility that I have an autoimmune disease called MMN, multifocal motor neuropathy. This can be detected through a spinal tap. So I was deathly afraid of doing this because I had never had a spinal tap before, although I knew that I need to do this in case there was that 5% chance that I had something other than ALS. I felt really angry and I started to cry. I felt like I was going through my diagnosis all over again. It just didn't seem fair. So weird to say when I wanted to be hopeful that it was something else. But deep down inside, I knew it wasn't. Just because of my symptoms. And I don't know. I didn't feel very hopeful that it could be anything else. If it was MMN, I could do IVIG treatments and live somewhat of a normal life. But I had the spinal tap done, and along with an ultrasound on my nerves, and it was still confirmed that I had ALS. The feelings that were going through me were really hard to describe. Now I just continue to plan for the worst. Book another trip. I don't know. Hopeful is not really in my vocabulary any longer. I try to stay positive and keep a smile on my face for my family. Deep down, I'm feeling extremely mad, sad, frustrated, lost, confused. Why is this happening to me? What did I do to make this happen? What did I do to my body? What did I do wrong? I have extreme anxiety. A lot of anxiety all the time. I'm always thinking. I have so many questions I don't understand. I have guilt because I talk about what's going on with me, but yet I don't want people to have pity on me. It's just the worst feeling. Yet I don't think people really understand what's going on with my body. Looking at me, I walk a little lopsided. I can walk on my own, but I'm afraid to fall. I've had a lot of falls. Thankfully, I haven't gotten hurt, but I've hit my head pretty hard a couple of times. So when I walk, I use my upright walker, or now I've been told to use an electric wheelchair when I leave the house. Excuse me. Like I said, this saves my energy. But does it really? Because when I leave the house and I use my devices after I get up from sitting so long, I also feel really cramped and weak because I'm still not using my muscles. So it's really, I just can't win. I've always tried to help everybody around me. I've always looked at all the good in everyone. I just don't understand why this is happening to me. It's not fair for anybody to be going through this. And why is there no cure for this? I don't feel like there's anything being done to figure this out.